fighting for your rights, and the old red, white, and blue.
Wonder Woman is one of the most recognizable superheroes in the world, and I'm sure you already know that. But what makes her so iconic?
This lady's been robbed your bank.
Yes. This wonderful woman in the bathing suit, stop them.
Okay. Suppose we start with your name.
Wonder Woman.
Sure.
Before I give my thoughts on the new film, let's look at some of the history first. Did you know that Wonder Woman was actually created by a psychologist? It's the same guy that invented the lie detector machine. It's fitting since the lasso of truth became Wonder Woman's main weapon of choice.
You must now tell the truth.
The character's first appearance was in All-Star Comics number 8 in 1941. She's a demigoddess and a warrior princess with an origin story that takes place on a hidden island called Themyscira, and she was sculpted from clay by her mother, Queen Hippolyta, and given life by Aphrodite.
You shall have your wish, Hippolyta, and she shall be named after the moon goddess and called Diana.
And so Diana was born of the gods.
She was also given superhuman powers and gifts by the Greek gods. Her origin story has since changed in recent years, and now she's depicted as the daughter of Zeus. Her weapons are a lasso of truth, a pair of indestructible bracelets, a tiara which serves as a projectile, and a sword that can cut through anything, and of course, her invisible jet. Except you can clearly see her.
To the invisible jet! Dang it.
And the outfit? There's an explanation for that too.
The colors were chosen to show your allegiance to freedom and democracy.
Wonder Woman was created during World War II, where she initially fought Axis military forces. Later on, the character became a founding member of the Justice League, but to the rest of the world, she's Diana Prince. Most people who don't read the comics know her from seeing Linda Carter play her on the hit TV show in the 70s. But before the popular show in the 70s, she was first seen in 1967, with Linda Harrison playing her in an unaired pilot called Who's Afraid of Diana Prince? Then in 1974, they tried again, this time with Kathy Lee Crosby, but the pilot never got picked up to series and wound up being just a standalone movie on TV.
It was perhaps inevitable that the man-made world would one day require a unique woman, a Wonder Woman. You are that unique woman, Diana. You will be the Wonder Woman.
Yeah, for about an hour and 15 minutes. Then Linda Carter will take over next year. This is actually the first time we see Themyscira in live action. A couple years later, we see that island again and meet Linda Carter, who this time plays Wonder Woman and meets Steve Trevor, the first man to ever visit the island.
It's a man.
The last live-action attempt was done decades later in 2011 with Adrian Palicki,
Like my outfit, officer?
which also failed to make it to TV. The character was also in cartoons at the time like Super Friends and the Justice League. But after all those shows ended, Wonder Woman's popularity went through a low period until she was finally brought to the big screen for the first time in Batman v Superman in 2016.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
Although the movie wasn't well received by both critics and fans, Wonder Woman was one of the best parts of the film, and included a clear setup for her 2017 solo film. Which brings me to my thoughts on the new film.
You're a man.
Yeah. I mean, do I not look like one?
Even before the movie began filming, it had a ton of pressure. Like a ton of pressure. After the mixed reactions of Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, DC needed Wonder Woman to be a great film. But it also needed to be a great female superhero film. Hollywood tried making one before but failed. 3 times. The first was Supergirl in 1984, which is fun to watch because it's so bad that it's actually good. Catwoman in 2003 was just bad, in a bad way, and Elektra in 2004 had its moments but overall was pretty forgettable. Female superhero films just had bad luck. And if Wonder Woman couldn't change all that, then what other film can? So what did I think of the new film? It was good. I was rooting for it, and I was happy to see that most people really enjoyed it too. Gal Gadot was a great Wonder Woman, and Chris Pine was the best I've seen him yet. I thought the film itself was long overdue. There's yet to be a strong female superhero on the big screen, and this movie finally delivered that. It's crazy to think that it's taken over 75 years for us to finally get a good version. I can't think of any other film that has an army of women warriors fighting on the battlefield. It was just amazing and iconic to see. The movie was good, but it wasn't perfect. There were a few things that took me out of the film, and they all had to do with the action. It had some great action scenes, but the third act was a little much. It reminded me of the end battle in Batman v Superman, and that's not a good thing. Let's talk about the slow motion, because there was a lot of it. Slow-mo can be cool in small doses, but the amount they used, I thought, threw off the pacing. The action starts off with great momentum, but then it would come to a screeching halt whenever it got slow. I'm not against using it, but I felt like it was way too much. In the end, I thought the film was really charming. Diana is a great character, and I look forward to seeing her in Justice League this November. Overall, I give the film a B. It's average in its storytelling, but both Gal Gadot's convincing performance and Patty Jenkins' talent as a director made it really compelling for me. In several interviews, Jenkins has said that scenes from the movie were direct throwbacks to Christopher Reeve's Superman. You could really tell when you watch the alley scene and the revolving door. The film made over $100 million in just its opening weekend and was #1 again in the second weekend. A victory not just for Warner Brothers, but a much-needed one for the DCEU. This opens up the door for more female superheroes, and is already inspiring young girls and boys around the world. But what did you think? I hope you liked the review. Leave your thoughts down below, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.